So back in 2006, what started as just another celebrity DUI, well, it blew up into something way, way bigger. We're not just talking about one actor's bad night. We're talking about a huge law enforcement agency, a pretty shocking cover-up, and one person who risked everything to get the real story out.
And that right there, that's the heart of it all. Just 5 simple words from an inside source. But those 5 words, they took what should have been a routine celebrity story and turned it into this massive investigation into an abuse of power. So let's get into it. Let's really unpack how this all went down.
Okay, so at first, this whole thing seemed pretty straightforward. You know, the world got this very clean, very sanitized version of what happened. And, I mean, why wouldn't they? We are talking about one of the biggest movie stars on the planet at the time.
So here's how it started. It's July 28, 2006. Mel Gibson gets pulled over for a DUI. Pretty standard stuff so far. TMZ gets the tip, they break the story. And when they do their due diligence, they call the LA County Sheriff's Department. The spokesperson confirms the arrest and gives them this very specific and, as it turns out, very important phrase: the arrest happened without incident. Remember that, without incident. Because that official line, yeah, it was about to completely fall apart.
And it didn't take long. Like an hour after the story went live, that whole official narrative just started to crumble. A phone call came in, and this one call, well, it was about to change everything. It suggested there was a whole lot more to this so-called routine arrest than the sheriff's department wanted anyone to know.
And here's where things get wild. Look at the difference. The official story is without incident, simple, clean. But this anonymous source, they're painting a completely different picture. We're talking an out-of-control anti-Semitic rant, a smashed phone, and a female sergeant getting called sugar tits. I mean, this isn't just a different version of events. This is an explosive accusation.
So naturally, the journalists go back to the sheriff's department with all this new info. And the pushback they got? It was fierce. This wasn't just some no comment. Oh no, this was a direct threat. They were basically told, if you run this story, you will ruin TMZ. We'll destroy you.
But see, this wasn't just a he said, she said situation anymore. The source told them something huge. There was physical evidence, a smoking gun. They claimed the original police report, the one written by the arresting deputy, had been sanitized, that pages were missing, taken out on orders from headquarters.
I mean, just think about that for a second. This is the ultimate moment of truth for a journalist, right? Who do you believe? Do you trust this anonymous voice on the phone? Or do you trust the official word of a massive, powerful law enforcement agency that's also, by the way, threatening to completely ruin you? The stakes, they literally could not have been higher. So the source says, I'll send you the proof. I'll send you the 4 pages they took out. Can you even imagine that? Just sitting there, staring at a fax machine. Yeah, a fax machine, waiting, wondering if these documents, which could either make your career or end it, are actually going to show up. And then they did.
And these pages, man, they laid it all out. It showed that orders came from headquarters to rewrite the report. It had the full, ugly, shocking details of Gibson's rant, including that infamous line that Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world. This was it. This was the proof. The sheriff's department wasn't just mistaken. They were actively, deliberately covering this up. So with that undeniable proof in their hands, they published the story. And it didn't just make a splash. It was a global tsunami. It just exploded, setting off this massive firestorm of consequences for pretty much everyone involved.
Okay, so right before they hit publish, the journalists made one last call to the sheriff's department, and they read the contents of those 4 missing pages to them. And the response? It was so telling. All those angry, firm denials? Gone. Replaced with this cold, bureaucratic statement, we are submitting all information to the district attorney, which is basically code for, you got us. That was all the confirmation they needed. And then you get what has to be one of the most bizarre phone calls in media history. It's from Mel Gibson's publicist. Now, are they calling to deny the horrible rant? No. To deny the cover-up? Nope. They called with one single correction. The publicist says he didn't say sugar tits. I mean, seriously, by trying to correct that one tiny detail, they basically confirmed that everything else, the really bad stuff, was true. But you know, the real fallout, the real story here, wasn't just about a celebrity's disgusting rant. The bigger and frankly more chilling story was how this powerful institution reacted when it got caught. Instead of looking inward and investigating the cover-up, they went after the people who told the truth.
Yeah, instead of looking into the cover-up, the sheriff's department launched what was basically a witch hunt. Their first target, the whistleblower, the arresting officer himself, Deputy James May. They hit him with search warrants. And then, years down the line, we find out they also secretly got a warrant for the journalist's phone records. I mean, that's a huge, huge breach of press freedom.
It gets even crazier. The sheriff at the time actually invites the journalist to lunch. And at this lunch, he makes an offer. You drop your lawsuit against us for violating your rights, and we'll give you exclusive stories in the future. It was a blatant attempt to trade justice for access. And you know what? The offer was rejected, flat out.
Look, the Mel Gibson rant, that was the big, flashy headline, but it was never the real story here. The real story was about a powerful institution that tried to protect a celebrity by lying, by falsifying official reports, and then when they got caught, they punished the very people who dared to tell the truth.
This whole thing is just such a stark reminder of that constant battle between power and the press. And it leaves us with a really critical question, one that's just as relevant today as it was back then. When the very institutions that are supposed to uphold the law are the ones trying to hide the truth, who is left to tell it? Who's going to speak up?